My experience with Castlevania Dracula X. Super Nintendo version, baby. Transylvania, the Middle Ages of evil darkness had befallen the land, giving a rise to sinister vampire legends. Until now, the people of Transylvania have grown accustomed to their peaceful existence, secure in the knowledge that that famed hero Simon Belmont had sealed the fate of Count Dracula several hundred years prior. Wicked townsfolk, possessed by the darkness, conspire to retrieve the King of Blood. Dracula, now undead once more, plotted to exact revenge upon the descendant of the family that destroyed him. Richter Belmont, the Prince of Evil, viciously attacked the town with his unholy legion. He snatched away Richter's girlfriend, Annette, and her sister Maria. Imprisoning them in his vile castle, he lies in wait for Richter to attempt a rescue. Richter, burdened by his destiny for Dracula's castle with his legendary ancestral whip, the determination to save his loved ones, with the resolve to send Dracula to eternal damnation once and for all. That is the prologue / the story for the entirety of Castlevania Dracula X. Now, ever since I have played Castlevania 4 and games before this, I have heard stories from many people talking to me about, you think you think Castlevania 4 is the best one? Wait till you play Dracula X, buddy. Then all your expectations are about to be blown out the fucking water. And I'm like, okay, bet. So I remember, by the way, JT, welcome. Welcome to the stream. So I remember, I got on the game. Because, you know, if you guys remember, Castlevania Bloodlines was disappointing. You know, Castlevania Bloodlines was disappointing to me. I didn't really like that one. But Kid Dracula was pretty solid, right? That was the last game in the Anniversary Collection anyway. So I was like, okay, let's go to the Advanced Collection. Little did I know, I found out before I started playing Dracula X, Symphony of the Night is not in the Anniversary Bundles or Collections on Nintendo Switch. I have to buy it specifically for the PlayStation. Really sucks, by the way, because I was really looking forward to playing Symphony of the Night on my Nintendo Switch. Just to see how it would go. Just to see. And I can't. I gotta buy it on the PlayStation, so we gotta wait for Symphony of the Night review to come out. So, yeah, wait for that. But, anyways, I digress. So, people were telling me this is the best one. I decided to whip it up, knowing that it's the Super Nintendo version, so there's no way I can actually get Symphony of the Night through that version of the game, because the Super Nintendo version is just Dracula X. And funny enough, Dracula X, aka Vampire Kiss, on a different console, plays differently than Castlevania Dracula X. Alright? A little weird what the difference between those are, but I won't go more into that, right? So I decided to play the game. Oh my god, stage 1's music. Ho, ho, ho. I remember I was getting into a good game when I got into stage 1 and heard this. And by the way, I'm just going to say this now. My experience is going to be nowhere near as long. Hi, what is this channel about? Sheen Martinez, this is about whatever I want to do. Gameplays, game reviews, aka my experience other game reviews, which I'm doing currently one right now. Plush content, shorts, funny moments, rage moments, basically a variety channel, okay? At its finest, but with a small YouTuber instead of like a really big one doing the variety. It's pretty much me, bro. But anyways, I remember as soon as I started the game up, I said, okay, this one's probably just gonna be like Castlevania 4. Bet it up. Why not? Bro, when I heard this theme song, oh, I knew this game was gonna be goated. Just hear this. Oh, yo, I remember I was sitting with my Switch pad in my hand because obviously I have it on Switch, right? So, and I have Bluetooth headphones over there. I was sitting there whipping, doing the usual Castlevania shit with the vampire killers, whipping enemies, hearing that good theme music. I was like, yo, I can see why people say this one is fucking amazing. And I apologize for the swearing, but as soon as I heard this theme, I knew this entire game was going to be goated. And by the way, I'm just going to skim through like over a lot of the stuff because obviously the gameplay is your usual Castlevania gameplay. You play as a 2D Belmont. You go around jumping through stages, platforming through stages, also whipping enemies' asses and bosses' asses along your way. Also picking up a lot of sub-weapons and different weapons along the way. Now, I'm going to skip the majority of bosses in this game because a lot of them are okay. They're your usual Castlevania fanfare, right? And I'm not going to lie, when I was playing Dracula X, what's my favorite game? That is very tough. I love a lot of games, bro. I love a lot. But anyways, so when I was doing research into this game, I found out there was 9 stages, so there was a little bit more than the usual. But I only managed to do 7 stages because I saved Annette, not Maria, but I saved Annette. Or I think I did save Maria. It was one of the girls I saved in my playthrough of the game because you got to save both of them and then go fucking face Dracula. But I only saved one and then called it an end there. But you get my point. Anyways, right? So I was playing through most of the game. I was having a jolly good time. Hearing that W music. And by the way, that's only stage 1's music. I'm talking stage 2, stage 3. I won't even spoil a lot of the game, okay? I'm only just going to talk about it briefly, this is kind of like a review / my experience. I love the game. I love Dracula X. I don't know if I love it just as much as Super Castlevania 4 because, Super Castlevania 4 is a remake of the first game with higher graphics. The soundtrack is just a gush to look at or just even listen to. It's amazing. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Let me just hear that first theme again. Hold on. Well, I remember, oh my god, just let me hear it again. I'm going to splash holy water on everybody in this damn bed. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just that theme is so good. I remember that is my favorite theme in the entire game, by the way. I'm sorry. It doesn't even come close. Like, dude, oh god. Hey, yo. Whoever made are these games based off the animes? Genuine question. Life of a God. Yes and no. Because, for example, some of these games, like, have come out, like, before, like, obviously, a lot of the Castlevania games came out way before Netflix started saying, yo, let's adapt Castlevania into a show, or Netflix shows, which, the Castlevania animes are good, but if you want a true Castlevania experience, I would definitely recommend you play the old Super Nintendo games. Some things they do completely on their own and they add to the anime, and other things they feel like they are the games. But I feel like the games in the anime, for the most part, are their own separate, unique experiences for those who are getting into Castlevania. You know, I didn't really watch too much of the animes because I prefer the games, but hey. Because I love Castlevania, lol. I don't know how to spell it right now. Because, hey, I don't blame you. Castlevania is a phenomenal series, okay? It's phenomenal. I love it as a game series. I didn't know I would. Never really played any of the games based off the anime. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, a lot of these games came out before the anime, right? But anyways, let me talk about, I think it's the final boss. I'm just going to look up the boss fights. We're going to talk about that and then call it a day, right? Yeah, Super Castlevania, Dracula X, NES, all bosses, no damage. Let me just find a video. Just getting into a lot of anime. Yeah, a lot of people are. But anyways, I remember, and I'm going to talk about each boss very individually, but, oh, I did not fight Death, but anyways, I skipped Death. Thank God I skipped Death. Death is annoying! Anyways, so, a lot of these bosses, like, for example, the Cerberus, which I was right, I can't believe I was right in calling him Cerberus. Cerberus was okay, annoying with his jumps, but other than that, it was fine. The Phantom Bat right here, he was also annoying, but he was fine. Dulian, which is the dude with the undead Night Warrior guy, he was cool. Minotaur, he was sort of annoying, but not super bad. Necromancer slash Cloak, he was extremely annoying. Werewolf, I don't remember fighting Werewolf. I think I skipped Werewolf. Carmella Skull, Storch, or whatever the fuck. This thing sucked, and it dragged on way too long. Boss number 7. Water Dragon, think of that one dragon thing in Metroid, Fusion, if I'm not mistaken, and literally what the Water Dragon is. Thank God I skipped Death as boss battle number 9. Oh god, no, I need to talk about this. So, Dracula is fucking annoying. Oh my goodness. So basically what Dracula does all around this stage is he sits around, warping around the entire map. This is the final boss, by the way. What's so bad with Death? Oh wait, what's so bad with Death? Let me explain. This fucker is annoying. I didn't fight this version, but every version I have ever fought, for all I know, this one could be nowhere near as bad as the previous Death, but every single Death, let me tell you, before this, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania 3, Castlevania 1, every single time I fought this dude, he would summon 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different scythes in the air that is hard to dodge and has tracking slash homing capabilities on your bitch ass. So they're chasing you like half the fucking fight, bruh. And I know you can use Vampire Killer to go over there and just whip all Death scythes and all that shit. But it's so fucking annoying because keep in mind, Simon, Trevor, the dudes you played before, Richter, they don't have that super move shit where you can, like, you know, do Super Saiyan moves. And that's another thing that I love about this game, this Castlevania game right here, because Castlevania Dracula X, laugh my ass up, you hate bosses that have tracking abilities, it's broken as fuck. Hey, it is, bro. I don't like bosses like that most of the time, bro. I struggle a lot, right? But back to Dracula, right? Why is Dracula so bad in this game? I'm gonna explain why. That fucker's a bitch. I hated Dracula when fighting this dude because those pillars that you saw a second ago, oh my god, they are annoying to stand on slash be on the entire fight, by the way. You have to jump around, you know, all around those platforms. I'll explain it when we go back to that. But, yeah, let me just freaking flip it around. So, this entire stage, this fucker warps. He can warp here, he can warp all the way over there, down there. He can warp right there, he can warp right there, he can warp right there. Any spot on this entire map this fucker can choose to warp to. He can shoot small fire and then big fire. And you have to hit him in the head like you usually would to, you know, end the game slash beat the bitch. Right? And obviously the little fire is not a problem, but let me tell you, this dude's base form takes so many hits for no reason. I don't know why, but I remember I was sitting here for longer than an hour using my vampire killer, aka my whip, to hit him in the head, and also use my special move where Richter, you press the X button. If you're on PlayStation, you would probably press triangle, but if you're on Switch, it'd be X, right? And basically Richter stands up and goes this full screen, like screaming move where he summons a bunch of fucking things around him, like crosses or a bunch of axes if you have the axe, or a certain weapon, he'll like spawn a bunch of those weapons and summon them all around himself to kind of protect himself in a wide range area. By the way, I love that move. It will fuck most bosses right up. But since Dracula can warp around the entire fucking map, it'll do damage to him, but it won't do too much damage to him. So I recommend if you have a sub-weapon for this boss, you better use the base version of it and try your best to hit him in the head with it. Probably recommend the axe, because I had the cross during this fight, which the cross is great, but like it doesn't have the axe capabilities of being thrown up and hit in certain angles and stuff, which probably would help me a lot during the fight with Dracula. And by the way, after one hit, you straight up, he straight up warps on you, and you can't really hit him like all that much. I was able to hit him like maybe once or twice before he was able to warp, but other than that, it just takes fucking forever, right? And you feel like you're done with the boss, and once you hit him, you're like, okay, I beat him. I remember I asked Louis for help, because I was like, Louis, how many hits does this boss take? Because I've hit him more than 10 times with Vampire Killer, on top of that with my sub-weapon, and the fucker still refused to die. Little did Louis tell me, Louis said it takes 10 to 15 hits to kill him. I'm like, okay, I will do that. 10 to 15 hit. Man, this guy seems really tough, not gonna lie. Maybe not the hardest, but it takes so long. Yeah, it drags. It drags a lot. But anyways, so I hit him there. I'm like, okay, the fucker is dead. What the fuck is this? He transforms, shoots giant fireballs, and does some of the weirdest shit on the planet. A Getsuga wave. And sure, he's a big damage sponge, and I know you can jump around these little platforms to get rid of him, and obviously, I'm just not experienced enough to fight him, right? But I remember I was sitting here for hours, sweating my ass off on that bed, right there, because I was sitting right here when filming this, and just over and over and over again, just dying, getting hit. And by the way, when you die in a Castlevania game, you start all the way the fuck back. So meaning, you have to refight the base version of base Dracula again. You don't get to fight this version of Dracula. You have to make sure you win again and then fight this form of Dracula. So that's why I'm like, bro, you better pray you have a bunch of hearts saved up for your sub-weapons, man. You better do it in that fucking run. You better figure out exactly where he's gonna go and when he's gonna do his moves, because otherwise, this form of Dracula is a bitch. So not only I had to get 15 hits on base, I had to probably do the same amount of hits all over again in this brand new form that my brother did not inform me about. Ugh. And I remember I was so stressed by the end of this. My hands were hurting. My legs were sweating. I was sweating. My brain was like, I was screaming a little bit because I was fucking scared. I didn't know what the fuck this dude was capable of. But after I beat him, it was so satisfying because I got a really good screen. We see Dracula die right here. As you guys know, hold on, let me show y'all. Give me a second. You see the shit? Dracula's death. He explodes. Richter beats him. And then you get like 2 of 3 screens, right? You get his girlfriend and Richter like hugging if you save both of them. But if you save one of them, Richter is standing like on the thumbnail. The thumbnail is actually the other ending you get in the game if you only save Annette and not her. Where basically Richter is standing there really upset, really pissed that he couldn't find his girlfriend in the castle, and basically he's really pissed that he lost her, right? It's still a good ending because you saved someone, but at the same time, you kind of fucked Richter's love life a little bit if you don't go after both, right? Which is fine by me, and I thought it was a cool way, just to end the game. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, even with all the bullshit that I just explained to you guys about, my dude Dracula, I still loved my experience, going up against him. I hated the process, but I didn't they didn't sit there and ruin my entire experience playing Dracula X. Do I recommend Dracula X? Hell yes, I do. Because if you buy Dracula X in the collection, there's multiple ways you can get it. But in my opinion, I recommend for any newcomers to Castlevania games, or you haven't played Castlevania games in a very long time, I highly recommend you get the Anniversary Collection games. And by the way, to find Dracula X, you would have to buy the Castlevania Advance Collection, where it has the Game Boy Advance Game Boy Advance games, and then stacked on top of that, it has Dracula X thrown in there. So, I recommend you buy the collection version because it has a built-in emulator / save state system to where you can save state / load state anywhere you would like. Thank God I had that, because if I was playing this on the original Super Nintendo, I would be screaming way more than I was sitting in that bed right now at the TV, because Dracula is so fucking annoying. Alright? That's literally what would happen to me, okay? If I was playing the Super Nintendo. But again, I would recommend, instead of buying this on Super Nintendo, or maybe even emulating it through the Super Nintendo, I would just recommend you get the Anniversary Collection or the Castlevania Advance Collection so you can just get it. So you can get more for your buck. More for, I think it was like 30, 40, 50 bucks for the Castlevania Advanced Collection, where you can get the newer Castlevania games, and then Dracula X right on the side. Also with the soundtrack in there, so you can hear this shit again. Hold on. No, I'm doing this again. I don't give a shit. I'm doing this again. Nope. So y'all know. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Hold on. Let me blast that shit real quick so y'all can hear this, alright? This guy seems really... oh, I read that one. Dracula did a lot worse than Ronaldo of Blood. He did? Oh, fuck. I gotta play that version of the game. What the fuck is this tune? This is the first stage of Castlevania Dracula X, aka the game I played. This is stage 1's music that you would hear. But anyways, guys, that's the end of my Dracula X review. It's a goated Castlevania game. Go fucking play it. Even if you play Ronaldo of Blood, the version that isn't for the Super Nintendo, I think it's for the Famicom, I can't remember. Even if you play that version, I feel like you're going to have a wonderful time playing that. And even with this version on the Super Nintendo, I feel like you're going to have a wonderful time playing that as well. But anyways, I digress. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. God bless you all. I hope each and every single one of y'all have a fantastic day. Thank you for the 5 likes. I appreciate it, guys. And go play yourself some Castlevania Dracula X. It's a goated-ass video game. Again, get it with the Castlevania Advanced Collection. Just get it there so you can have save states. So you can make your journey a lot easier on yourselves than playing it through Super Nintendo or other means. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next My Experience. Check out my re-experience with Wii Sports, the original game. That was over an hour. Check that out, please. I talked a lot. I talked my heart out in that one. Also, check out my other videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh, and since Rene YT is live with Kingdom Hearts 2, if you want to check that out, go ahead and check his page out right now. Peace.